Hello, this is Easy, and I got this script here called 3DB. This is the version A, and if it changes, I'll turn this to version B down here. This is kind of like try before you buy. In other words, is you can still try this, and you don't have to buy anything actually. And there's going to be a link below the video with a little description. So basically, how this works is I'll just give you a quick overview. Is in the link below the video. It's going to have an email address that you can go ahead and send me an email. In return, I'm going to send you two links. One is to the script, and you'll try this first. And to say, hey, the script does not work very well, or not like I expected to. I don't want to buy anything. So you ain't paid nothing up front, so don't worry about it. Let's say, hey, I would like to try this, but I ain't got no money. Maybe I can pay you later, whatever. Okay, you try it, you like it, okay? On the second link, it's got a link to my website, and you can buy things off my website. Say, I tried this, I liked it. I think this thing's worth maybe $2 or maybe $4 or whatever. Go to my website and go ahead and buy something that you think this is worth. Like I said, you will try this first before you buy anything off my website. That'll let me know that, hey, you was interested and you just bought something off my website in return to buying this. This is kind of like on the honor roll system, so I'm just giving this to you to try, and it's up to you if you want to pay or not. Okay, I'll be pausing the video as I press some of these buttons here because everything kind of gets slow with the screen recorder. And this is not a plug-in. You need to run this ZSC file from the desktop, okay? Could cause it to crash. Now, if we look at these three buttons, they're kind of got 1, 2, and 3. They're kind of in their own little group, and we got the inward and outward. They're kind of like they're in their own little group, and the rest of the buttons, they kind of do their own little single thing, and I'll explain that here in a little bit. We're going to press the star button here. Well, not star button, but the By-EZ 3D. We're going to drag this out. We need to be something in edit mode for this to work. Alright, basically most of these buttons will work off the alpha. As you can see, I had selected the star first and in edit mode. Must do this in order. Then we'll come over to the alpha, and I'm going to select one of these here, and pretty much what you see is what you get. I don't want that shape in the white, so what I'm going to do to alpha and invert this, and I want this shape here. So with that said, we're going to press the start one here. It says press to start without ZBRUSH in it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and press here and pause the video, and we get something like this. You can see in the middle it's kind of a little bumpy there. Okay, not a problem. Well, the next button here, I'm going to ZBRUSH this right here. So what I'm going to do is press here, then we're going to get something like this. Turn on the polyframes here, and it's a nice clean 3D mesh. We're looking around 8,000 or almost close to 9,000. Well, no, 8,000 polygons. We can press the ZBRUSH again if we want to, see if we can lower that. The more you do that, probably more it's going to kind of get more rounded. But you can kind of lower that by pressing the ZBRUSH here. Alright, and let's say it got too rounded. We got the inward and outward button here, so we can press outwards, make it wider. And press inward to kind of flatten it up if we want to. Alright, I'm going to try this button here, number 2 here. Press to start with ZBRUSH. And let's go with a different alpha. So we're going to go to the texture here, and let's just select this one here, and then we're going to create that and make that an alpha. So we have it over here. We'll just turn this texture back off. As you see, we probably need to invert that, so we go to alpha and invert that. As you can see, it's got grayscale to it, like in the middle. It's dark. I want to kind of even that up a little bit. So we're going to go down here to modify and adjust, and keep an eye on this image up here. As as I move this. You might not be able to see in the video, but it's brightened up quite a bit. Anytime that you need to reset that, you can press reset and start all over. So that's pretty much what I want right there. And we're going to press this number 2, press to start with ZBrush. And we get done, we got something like this. We can turn on the polyframe, take a look, and you can also notice that it's got their own little groups. You can group split this and put every letter in its own subtool. Alright, I want to go ahead and flatten that out. Turn on polyframes, then you get something like this. I had paused the video and restarted. Take me a little break here. Got the demo head up here. Press F to frame that up. And we're going to go to alpha, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to the transfer, and we're going to grab the dot. Now if you recall earlier, I was messing with some of the settings in the adjust here, and pretty much when you switch anything you might want to put these back because these settings still stay. So we'll go transfer and grab dot, and we're going to get this alpha right here, and it's got the grayscale to it. Then we're going to press the number 3 here, press to start to keep the detail. Now I'm using this on this demo head because well, a couple reasons, because I want to keep the detail, and I do know for a fact if I use the start button number 1 and number 2, it doesn't work very well for this, and I'm not going to show you that. So we're going to press number 3, press to start, and keep detail. Then we're going to get something like this. What we're going to go to the transform here and activate the symmetry. And most of these are on the default ones, they're mirrored in the X, but this one is not. This one mirrored in the Z. We put our cursors over here, left to right, and then that's pretty much on all these that you'll be setting these through. Alright, that said, we'll go on the next step here. And we're going to go over to the morph target. This automatically stores the morph target, and it switched the brush over here to the morph brush. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and press this outwards. Keep on pressing it. And maybe one more time. I'm trying to keep this right here where I can put my cursor and smooth this rigid right here without making it too wide. So we'll turn brush size down a little bit, and I'm going to hold the shift key down, and I'm going to drag down. Then I'm going to let out the shift key to what we call smart smoothing, just smoothing out the rigid here. I'm not going to do everything, but I'll get to that part right there. Now if we switch the morph target, we get like this. Just to make sure that we always want to go back to the smoothing, we can go ahead and delete morph target and start. Alright, that way I'm going to be always to the smoothing. So my next step is I'm going to go outwards, and this bottom piece is going to get too wide because it's already extra wide already on the shoulders. So I'm going to just go ahead and mask that. We're not worried about that. Anyway, we'll fix that later. Alright, invert that. Smooth that out a little bit. Then I'm going to press outwards. I'm going to try getting pretty close to the original shape of the head. That's pretty close right there. Alright, now we have the morph brush here, and we can switch between the two, as you can see right here. And now I want to put this, trying to get the nose back and the lips and whatever to resemble the demo head. So that's it. We're going to crank this up. Our symmetry is on, and the Z intensity is going to be way too much, so this is going to have to be set down to 1 in most cases. So 1 is about where you're going to get. And I want to start in the middle here, and I might drag up and down. Too far out here might not work, so what I'm going to do is start here. I'm not worried about the top or anything else. I'm going to start dragging down and just drag up and down through the nose a little bit. Let go, drag here a little bit. I'm just dragging up and down. As you can see, it's pretty much resemble the demo head, and you can get to the side here and we get something like this. That is the exact same thing, or pretty close to the demo head. And this one here that is 3D is actually made from this alpha. So this alpha here that's got the grayscale, this is my final results. Alright, so I'm going to invert this, and I'm going to go to visibility and hide point. Make this polymesh 3D. Then I'm going to press the finish one here. What this is going to do is, as you can see, I have no subdivision levels. This is going to give us subdivision levels, and then we're going to keep that shape. Let's see if we can go a little extra wider, see what that looks like if I do that. Alright, too wide, Control Z that. We'll just there's some options in the deformation if you want to go ahead and make that extra wide. I think it was this one here. Nope. I think it was the size that's on the Z, and we can kind of scale it kind of like we want it. And you can see there from this image here. Alright, let's take a look back in the geometry, no subdivision levels, and we're going to press finish, and it says high and low subdivision level. Well, I screwed up with some text down there. It says high and low. Well, it's supposed to be high and low, so I'm just going to leave that script like it says. So here we go. We're going to get this message right here, and I'm going to press always OK. And we have our subdivision levels. We got number 5 on this one here. And keep in mind, this came from the alpha here. Pretty amazing. Okay, I'm going to go over the shape it here. Makes the alpha shape. This is a little different here, so let's go ahead and select this one here again, and alpha, and invert this. It's a little different than these buttons over here, 1, 2, and 3. We'll just press make shape. As you can see, I have the mesh out here, and I am in edit mode, so most of these buttons you have to have an object out here and be in edit mode. So we'll make the shape here, and give it a second, and then we have our shape here. As you can see, it kind of bunched up here. It doesn't look exactly long like that. It is because the image here is not completely square. If it was square, it would probably look a lot closer to, well, it would look just like that. What's good about the shape it is it's pretty fast, and on top of that, if we turn on the polyframes here, it's going to be really hard to see in the video, but it's very dense mesh. I'm going to do the Control Shift click, and it's got its own polygroups. There's going to be the middle, there's going to be the left side, and then you're going to have the right side there. So, well, there's 3 groups, and it's pretty quick. Well, let's go ahead and select something kind of square so we can kind of see. Alright, this one here is 256 by 256. And we're going to shape it. And we get it like this. like that one there. This one has grayscale. There's all kinds of things you can do. I'm just doing a few things here. If I hold down the control key, you can see it switches off. Hold the control key again, then just keep it held down and select this, and we can kind of use this as mask. I'll bring this over here. I'm gonna get nothing pretty here. Then there's all kinds of things you can do. I'm just doing a few things here. What I want to do is see, inflate that, and we can get something like this. Of course, most of these have the morph targets stored, so if we want to switch it back, we just switch it back like that. I had paused the video and imported a alpha here. As you can see, it's white and we got transparent. Well, the image here is black and white. Actually, the transparent is the black, and the one that you can see is the white. So if you're doing kind of wanting to do an image, black to white, okay, because or you could use grayscale, but black makes it transparent, or vice versa. So I mean, you can use the invert here to switch that to whatever you want. So if I want to invert this, this is pretty quick, so we'll just do it like this. Then you can see this is now 3D. If I was to go to alpha and invert it again, pretty much what you see here is what you get. This is now 3D. I had paused the video again, and we'll do one more thing here. I'm going to go ahead and, as you can see here, we are still in edit mode. Show you something else you can do. We're going to switch to the snake brush. That's going to drop us out of edit mode, and now I'm using a different brush. I can no longer turn this, but I can, I had made this earlier. I'll show you how to do this right here in this image. So I'll switch this back. I think I needed this brush here, and I'll make it like this. Alright, then we're going to go to the alpha, and then we're going to grab dock. When I do this, it's going to create a new alpha, and this is the one I'm going to be using. Alright, now I need to be back in edit mode. Control N to clear the canvas. We'll select the star here, bring this out, go into edit mode, and when we do this, when we switch different tools, always make sure that we are selecting the right alpha, because sometimes when you switch a tool, it'll switch to a different alpha, depends what's going on. So we're going to go down here and press number 3. And what we're going to try to do is turn this into 3D here. And here we are. And we got something like this. Let's switch materials so we can see a little bit better. And then we press outward if we want to. And it's something you can kind of tinker with. Next, we're going to go over to 3DME. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to go with the texture here, and we're going to import, and press this one here, and you can see it loaded it down here. So we'll click here to load it into the palette up here, or the square box, and we're going to make this an alpha. We need to make it an alpha here. As you can see, it's grayscale here. Basically what I want to do is I need to change this alpha because it's got too much grayscale and it's not going to get me a good texture to apply it to. So for that to work, go to alpha, and let's see here, modify, And I want to bring that up a little bit here. Still got some grayscale in it. Let's press reset. Let's try that again. As you can see, it's white, and then we got the transparency, as you can see over on the left there. So that said, I could, I'll show you later here, but let me go ahead and just press 3D when you get this pop up here, just press cancel. Okay, no problem. And give it a second. Then we're going to get this image up here. Alright. This is actually 3D. If the texture does not show up, you may need to come and select it down here. Then select it through the pop-up here. Let's go to the transform here and switch all this back around. Now I probably could get pretty close to making a shape like I did the demo head. It's got a lot of noise in there, so I ain't had a chance to really make one, but I'm sure I could do it like the demo head. This is pretty cool because you can kind of do all kinds of things with this, because this also stores morph target. Okay, let's see. Let's switch to I think I'm going to try the magnify here. Make her teeth a little wide, a little too wide. Let's make that a little bit more. Alrighty, and let's go with the topology here. Move our nose around if we want to. And we have something like that. And if we go over to the morph target, we can switch that back and forth. And we could also use the morph brush to bring anything back that needs to be brought back. As you can see, my intensity is low for this one. I can crank it up to bring it back a little bit quicker. Crank it up a little bit more, and just bring it back really quick. Just a little recap here. As you can see, the elf over here on the left, that is going to be my 3D, and the image below it will be the texture that will be applied to the 3D. And on the image, I had removed the background and converted that and removed it, and that's why you can see just the image here. Like I said, I could probably do this like I did the demo head, made this 3D, but this image here is going to need a lot of cleanup. It has a lot of distortion noise to it, and if you get that, it will not come out very well. So that's up to you how you clean your images up and how everything's going to look. But anyway, I was just going over a few things. There's like tons of things that you can do with this, but due to time, I think I can get you up and running from what you've been watching, and thank you very much. And she'd like to thank you very much. And thank you very much.